When I was a kid, I was a menace and a half. I don't think anybody realized it until one day in kindergarten, I about slimed out another kid because he took my spot on the carpet. There was some serious problems going on up there. They can't say they didn't see the signs. So I needed something to channel that menace and energy into. And what better way did I channel it than in video games? I have an older brother, and when we was younger, we would spend a lot of time playing games. So you best believe we was playing a whole lot of Mario Kart back in the GameCube. Except instead of playing, we was usually spending a lot more time fighting over who got to drive. So maybe we'd settle it in Sonic Adventure 2 multiplayer. But this game would start so many fights single-handedly, we had to do something about it. We had to start making our own rules, like not holding your time freeze ability for too long. There had to be some type of integrity if it was still gonna be fun for both of us. But we would pick up a lot of Sonic games on GameCube or any other racing games that we could verse each other in. And you might notice that I'm talking a lot about games on the GameCube. And you may think that makes me a little bit ancient, but listen, I have a really good explanation on that I'll get into later. But let's talk about how things got a little bit more interesting when we versed each other on the DS. When I was growing up, everyone around me had a DS, and I apparently had one too that I got sometime before I was consciously aware that I was alive. But I took care of my DS just as well as everyone else. Losing the stylus, cracking the screen, and it ending and it being snapped in half. But during its short time of being alive, I do have fond memories playing Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games back when I was in daycare. We'd hop on download play and run them track event races, which got real serious. They had all of them nice ass events. We'd usually spend our time racing, boxing, or shooting hoops, which wasn't really different from us in person. But when we got bored of that, we'd hop on Mario Bros in the DS, and if you know anything about this game, then you would know that your sibling problems started here. You would leave this game needing professional family therapy. That's how bad it got. And why is that, you may ask? Well, all of you definitely know about this game's infamous multiplayer, getting the highest amount of stars. But in doing so, you'd have to deal with the people that would either use the blue shells, the stars, or mega mushrooms, or any other corny ass tactic in order to prevent you from doing so. Matches would usually end in screaming rounds or a couple rage quits. And one thing led to another, and my DS ended up snapped in half. I don't remember if it was related, but I got my saving grace when the 3DS came out and we hopped on that. I could make a whole video about the 3DS alone. I just might. But they still had them same download play features, so you best believe we were still playing the DS and 3DS game. Mario Kart 7 was a masterpiece. I love going in battle mode and targeting my brother till he lost all his balloons. It was also around this time that we began playing Mario Kart DS download play co-op. We were still at the daycare, there was about 8 of us, which meant that the dude that actually had the game would play as some broken ass character, or we would all have to play as bum ass, dumb ass Shy Guy. And if we wanted to actually play as somebody, we'd have to get the game. I think that was Nintendo's first time telling us to get our money up. We could have never imagined how bad they would get with that years later. But I'd like to take a detour here and talk about some of the Wii games I played growing up, which wasn't that many because I never owned a Wii. That was a right reserved exclusively for the privileged. In my head. But whenever I go around to family and friends' houses, if I did see a Wii, then I would immediately get to begging. Those times didn't come up often for me. So I played a good amount of Mario Kart Wii, some Kirby Returns to Dreamland, which got me into Kirby games, and of course, the Wii sports games. That game had me taking it so seriously, I was about ready to throw the Wiimote at the TV like Ashton Hall. But the few times that I did get my hands on a Wii, it was a fun time. But back to talking about the GOAT console, the 3DS. The 3DS is what got me into Pokemon. Now don't attack me. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. But don't worry, I did all my necessary research that I needed to do in order to be considered a real fan. Just because I was a little late, don't mean that I'm a fake fan. I'm still good. So we would usually run Pokemon battles on the bus after school day. And you already know I had to show everybody up. I was a real sweat. I had them strategies crazier than King Von's story.
Got a drop on his flexing neighbor. He from Tennessee, I got a thought. She be with the shit. She told me where he be. I said for sure. Baby.
I went back and played Pokemon X and Y, and that game was gas. And of course, I'm looking forward to that Pokemon Legends ZA taking place in Lumiose later on this year, yes sir. And then of course, the GOAT Pokemon Sun and Moon came out in 2016, and we was all over that too. Straight generational game. There was also an era around this time where I was real heavy into mobile games. I'm talking we was playing stuff like Subway Surfers, Pixel Gun, Roblox, and Geometry Dash. But I ended up actually sticking with Geometry Dash and trying to get real good at it. I actually made some shake with that and was playing it on and off throughout the years. Nowadays though, I'm washed, but I can still make a little bit of something happen. At some point while I had my 3DS, me and my brother were gifted a PS2 from our cousin, and this came in one of the best multiplayer games that I never played to date, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. This game also got serious. There wasn't nothing like flying around and sending laser beams to your beloved family, but one day it got a little too serious and it marked the end for my PS2. So we was playing matches and I was giving my cousin the business, and then after getting blasted in the face, my cousin jerked the controller, which was connected to a wire, which was connected to the PS2, which was on a dresser. So needless to say, it fell off, and in slow motion, I watched it slowly fall and hit the ground. As we watch our only source of entertainment for that summer shatter into a million pieces upon hitting the ground. Now you would think that the realistic thing to do would be to send it to a repair shop, Yeah, we didn't for some reason, I don't know. But instead, we did buy some new Sony consoles, being the PSPs. Man, what y'all know about these? We was playing games like Wipeout Pure, Sonic Rivals 2, Ape Escape, Ratchet and Clank. Man, y'all just don't know nothing about the PSP. But I probably spent the most time playing Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Tag Team, and that game was fire. But one of the last consoles that I got as a kid, which we're gonna make the cutoff point being when I was like 12 years old or something, was the Wii U. I feel like this is definitely a sleeper pick, and everyone that had a Wii U could definitely tell you that console was super good. But the main reason why I got a Wii U was to play Splatoon. That was the new hot game of 2015. This was my favorite game on Wii U, but I couldn't go around gassing it and suggesting it to people because it had to have some of the worst marketing I ever seen in my life back in 2015. How am I supposed to say, hey, you should really hop on Splatoon, it's a really fun game? They're like, oh, where? They go search it up, and then they see this. I was having a pretty hard time defending my GOAT, but hey, no worries. The sequel Splatoon 2 came out on the Switch, and then I didn't have to say nothing else. Other Wii U games I played were like the obvious Mario Kart 8 and Smash 4, both very valid games. Oh, I also played that toxic ass Nintendo Land game. I don't know what was going on with that. Then 2016 came around and I had some pretty fire game pickups. We had Mario and Sonic at Rio 2016. That game was gas. That time was different. And then we had the first Pokken Tournament game drop, and nobody was seeing me on that. Yeah, man, now that I think about it, Wii U has some good games, bro. Why was everyone sleeping on this? It don't make no sense. Hey, if I'm talking to somebody and they tell me that the Wii U wasn't good, bro, I'm already ruling out their opinion, bro. They don't know what they're talking about. I mean, nobody can forget the Smash 4 hype era, bro. What? What is this? I mean, I was still a kid at that point, so there's not a whole lot of existent footage of me reacting to that stuff. In fact, there's not a whole lot of existent footage of me playing Wii U at all. Oh, I mean, there are some exceptions.
Oh, I have something for him.
I will continue to defend the Wii U though. That console was clean. Can't nobody tell me different. But this is where we reach our cutoff point, which for me was like when I was 12. Everything after, like when the Switch came out, will be covered in a sequel video. If y'all want to see a sequel, let me know in the comments. Yeah, because there was a lot more games that I got on the Switch than I had on everything else when I was growing up. Then we can also get into the whole Fortnite and Smash stuff that was happening after. Let me know in the comments what was y'all favorite console growing up, and what was y'all favorite games growing up? What had y'all hooked the most? Did you have any siblings that you was playing with? And how did that whole thing go? Because I know y'all was getting heated over them games. And something else that was kind of weird, when did y'all like start playing games online with friends too? When did that start? Because I know for me, it started very early. It started way earlier than it should have. But when did that start for y'all? Because I know that that's something that's like real specific to our demographic. Like when stuff like Skype, TeamSpeak, and Discord started popping off, we was all pretty young for that. We was there for that. Let me know when y'all actually like hopped on that stuff, because it's like super commonplace now. That will also be covered in the potential sequel video, because I know that was also something that was really important at the time. And I guess something else would be, what would be something super niche that y'all played growing up that's like specific to you, that you enjoy? Let me know that in the comments. Thank y'all for watching today's video. Remember to leave a like on your way out if you enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.